am Terry Ann Porter, the author of the Knit and Crochet Bible Study Devotional Journals. Today, I am continuing my reading of Stitched in Christ. Lesson number 4, Repeating My Mistakes. Forget what is behind, strain toward what is ahead. Philippians 3:13. I am working on a pattern which included the instructions to complete a number of rows in stockinette stitch, then switch to a smaller size needle to begin a ribbing pattern. Easy enough. I finished the final purl row of the stockinette and picked up the smaller needle. I completed one row of ribbing, then turned the project and continued in pattern. Whoops! I forgot to pick up the second smaller needle and completed 7 rows with 2 needles of different sizes. Time to frog. Rip it, rip it, rip it. I was working on socks, so of course, a second one had to be made. I made the same mistake. Again. Ugh. It would be okay if this happened only in knitting, but it doesn't. I decided to quit eating junk food. Then I find myself finishing off a bag of candy. I decide to exercise daily and realize it has been weeks since my last visit to the gym. I vow to stand firm on the faith and pass by an opportunity to share Christ's love once again. If only I could frog that situation or that time period from my life. I find myself stuck in the mire of my failures. If I focus on those failures, I will definitely repeat them. Matthew 6:21 tells us, "Where your treasure is, your heart will be also." That could apply to where your mind is as well. If your mind is on the negative, the heart will follow. I must force myself to forget what is behind, strain toward what is ahead, as Paul proclaims in Philippians 3:13. Or perhaps as Isaiah 43:18 declares, "Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past." If I do not, I will become depressed and withdrawn. Once frogged, I must now replace those torn out stitches, paying attention not to repeat the mistake. I must press forward, or the project will be abandoned to the UFO, unfinished projects, pile. Paul continues, "I press on toward the goal to win the prize for which God has called me heavenward in Christ Jesus." Verse 14. Today, I open my eyes to a new day and new opportunities. This day has not yet been written. Yesterday's mistakes are gone. I will sing of your love and strength each morning. Psalm 59:16. Bring it on, Lord. As long as we are stitched together, there will be no frogging. This week's Stitched in Prayer. Memorize Philippians 3:13 and 14. But one thing I do, forgetting what is behind and straining toward what is ahead, I press on toward the goal to win the prize for which God has called me heavenward in Christ Jesus. A pattern directs us on a path from the beginning of a project to its end. You will probably make a number of mistakes as you work on the project. Thinking of one project. How did you move forward? Is there a project like the socks I was working on where you consistently repeated the same mistake? Did you frog and continue, or toss it on the UFO pile? What made you make the decision in that direction? In my life, I sometimes get stuck in the mire of failures. Do you do the same? Consider a time you did this and journal. 1, what was your response? 2, how you would have preferred to respond. And 3, what you do to help you not repeat that again.